All right, we're going to do a quick video. We had a couple questions about what we would recommend to send over from like the United States before you come over to build. So we'll go over a few things. We've done the video on, like the nails and stuff like that. Nails, high quality nails. Like I said before, you can find them here if you're lucky. We've gone through a ton of nails. For the forums and everything else, we have bought nails and nails and nails and nails. And so if you want to, I wouldn't necessarily recommend bringing a bunch of nails. I did have quite a few nails that I had sent over, but they were all different sizes, different types, just a whole different assortment. And I've used them, and they're fairly good quality. I still have quite a bit, but like the nails that they have used for the build, we generally are getting one use out of them. You can pull them, but once they're used, they for whatever reason they're just really difficult to use a second time. I've seen them try to straighten them, nail them out, straighten them, or hammer them out and straighten them, and it's really difficult for them to use them a second time. So, but I don't know that I would recommend sending nails like that over. Those are pretty cheap here, and they're basically a one-use nail, but they're pretty cheap. So screws, on the other hand, I sent some really good quality screws over, and I'm glad that I have. They're good quality. You can buy them here, but they're extremely expensive compared to in the United States. I've been able to get good screws, like concrete screws. It's a big deal here. Everything's made with concrete, so they don't generally use them here because they're expensive here. What they do is they will drill an oversized hole. They will put a wall anchor in to the concrete, and they will use that to secure whatever they're putting on the wall. So it is not normally used. So like the concrete screws, I've got concrete screws that I've sent over, and they're heavy duty screws, but they are expensive here. So I would recommend sending some of those over. As far as tools go, I sent an entire set of pliers. I believe I went to Lowe's and picked up a whole set. And sent those. I've sent a whole set of really good screwdrivers, both the Phillips and the regular. So that's something that we've used. The pliers we've used, and that was an entire set. So it had the wire clippers, various different ones, channel locks, that kind of thing. I think the most important thing that I sent over prior to starting this build was a set of cordless tools. We have used that, I can't even describe how often. Every day of the build it's been used. For cutting cocoa lumber to drilling holes to doing, pretty much everything you can think of, we have used it for.
The charger that you use for
Yeah, the charger that we had, everything in the US is 110 current. It's 220 here. So if you do bring that stuff over, we burned out a charger almost immediately. Didn't even think about it, plugged it in, blew it out. They have it's kind of a online shopping thing over here called Shopee. We were able to get on Shopee and order one for this specific brand that I brought over here. And we were able to get one in a couple days, and it's actually a really nice charger.
$20.
Works great. Very happy with it. So if you do happen to burn one out, It's not that big of a deal. You can find them pretty quickly, and you get it really fast. So, and that's what we do. So, the cordless tools are a big, big deal. Now, some of the older guys here have no idea how to use power tools. They've been using hand tools their entire career. So, we saw it over and over during this build where the older worker would look at it, want to use it, and then turn to a young guy and have the young guy actually use the tool. And so all the young guys, you know, they've got a little bit more knowledge about the power tools. So they generally would do the cutting or that kind of thing. So that was huge. Those tools, the cordless tools, were a huge help. And it's a massive time saver. When they are making the forms for the columns or the beams, you're talking about, you know, sometimes a span or a length of 10 feet for one section of the form. If you don't have that power tool, it's by hand, it's by a handsaw that they will do it. And that takes a significant amount of time just on one board, let alone doing a bunch of boards. They were able to use that skill saw that's cordless and finish a ton of stuff really, really quick because they had the power tool there. Now, we had to charge it every night and bring it back in, but that's minor, really minor stuff. So I brought a set of sockets with a ratchet and everything else. I bought another one at Lowe's or Home Depot, I can't remember which. Good quality set that had metric and the standard in it. And then when I knew that some of the tools that they had over here were decent enough to buy over here. So when I got over here, I bought a corded skill saw, and I bought a corded hammer drill. And so we've used those down here as well. Once we had electric to the house, they've been using my corded drill, and it's a Stanley, which is a decent quality. It's pretty good. But just general tools. I mean, everything. The one thing that I did not bring or did not send that I wish I had was a set of wrenches. Both metric and standard, I wish I had bought a set of just the hand wrenches to have here. I don't have them, and I wish I had some because they're not cheap here for good quality. So we have made a list since we've been here about stuff that we want to get and send over here. So that's
like
what we're
little
going
stuff,
to do.
yeah.
Just little things here and there. And so that is going to be on the list as well. So that's just general tools. Anything that you can think of that may be of use to your build, I would recommend sending it over. Like I said, the biggest help that we had was sending the cordless tools. Absolutely, I would recommend that for anyone who's coming over here to build. You can buy cordless tools here, but you're not going to know the name, the quality. We looked at some that were pretty low quality, pretty high price. The plastic cover on these tools are really weak. I mean, really weak, and they're expensive. Some of these cordless drills are $150, and you've never heard of them anywhere in the world. They're just random cordless tool. So, not saying they don't work, but if you're willing to spend that money, you can buy a whole set back in the United States for a couple $100 of a bunch of different tools. You can come over here and buy one drill for $150, or you can buy a whole set of tools back there for $200 and send them over here. I bought the cheaper end of the tools. I did not buy brushless. If I had to do it again, I probably would buy the brushless, a little bit more money, but I haven't had any problems with the tools that I brought. But that's my recommendations. You know, and everybody's different. Everybody's got their own thoughts on what they need here and what they should bring and that kind of thing. But just general tools, you know, the good pliers, the good. I brought ratchet straps. Ratchet straps are expensive here. You know, I bought some at Harbor Freight for, you know, just a little bit of money. Here they're expensive, so that's another thing that I brought that I'm gonna send more because they are expensive here. They are not cheap. I have yet to find any of them that are cheap. You can find them, nobody uses them because they're so expensive. So with that, we're gonna wrap this up. That's about it. If you have any other questions, please comment down below. And if there's anything that we can clarify or recommend for you, just let us know and we'll see what we can do. Thanks for watching.